Hola bonitas, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review and wear test on this new foundation that I purchased from Sephora, and that is the Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation. This foundation is almost $50, so I'm really excited to get into it and let you guys know my thoughts, do a wear test, do an in-depth review. So let's go ahead and transform this face. Okay, so I ordered this on same-day delivery on Sephora's app, which I love. I actually signed up for the membership because I'm like, sometimes I need the items immediately, and it's great that we can get that same-day delivery. So I'm like, let me just do the annual subscription. But I want to talk about this because this is a new foundation. You guys know I love reviewing the newest foundations, and look how this looks. This looks very, very pretty. You guys know Laura Mercier always brings it. This is supposed to give you a real flawless, weightless, perfecting foundation. I am going on the Sephora app just so I can read more about it so that we know exactly what we're getting into. This is a weightless foundation that blurs the line between makeup and skin with a medium buildable coverage, waterproof wear, and up to 12 hours of fade-proof wear. This does contain high-resolution pigments and 3D smoothing priming powders, blurring bamboo silk powders, and hydrolipid matrix to balance moisture and shine control to maintain skin's optimal state. It also contains camellia seed, vitamin E, cacao extract, antioxidant rich formula helps defend against damage from external stressors. This is a vegan, gluten-free, cruelty-free, and it also comes in recyclable packaging. So I am really ready for this. Oh, this formula is also dermatologist tested, non-comedogenic, and suitable for all skin types, even sensitive, which is definitely me. My rosacea has not been happy with me, so it's good to know that this is sensitive friendly. Let's get into it. I am very, very excited. I also did purchase this shade in, if I can find it, 4N1 Ginger, which is medium with neutral undertones. I hope this works out for me. So that's what it looks like. It is a liquidy formula. Looks like it's gonna have really good pigment, and it feels very lightweight. So we're just gonna go right there, right here. You guys know the drill. I'm gonna do one side with my sponge and then the other side with a brush. I'm just using my Fenty sponge right now. Let's see how it covers. I've been getting a little bit of acne on my chin and also some pimples right here, so let's see how it covers all that. My rosacea, definitely covering the rosacea. I like this coverage. It looks radiant. Maybe it's just because we just started and we need to see how it kind of sets into the skin as you push it in. But it's applying very beautifully with the sponge. You still get that really good pigmentation from it. Like, look at the difference between having it on and not having anything on. Definitely covers beautifully. Also feels very lightweight. Now the thing is, we have to see why this is $48 and if it's worth the $48, because that's not cheap. I will say though, Laura Mercier does have really great quality products. They're best known for their powders. Looking good though. I also think this color is great, this medium with neutral undertones. I always tend to fall for like those neutral undertones, so I think that this is matching me pretty well. It's not too warm, it's not too pink, like it's perfect. Okay, yeah, it's definitely setting into a nice skin-like finish. I feel like at first, when you first apply it, it looks like it's going to be very radiant just because it does look very liquidy, but I feel like once you give it some time to set into the skin, it just looks really nice. Covered all my imperfections with one pump and bam. Now we're gonna go ahead and do this side, and we're gonna be taking a brush. So I am going to be taking this brush right here. Okay, so I'm gonna do again. I like how lightweight it feels. It feels very lightweight. Do one right there. And then the forehead. I don't really go in with a lot on the forehead just because I don't need a lot. I will say I like the fact that this foundation, it almost feels like a serum foundation. Like it has that really lightweight feel to it. For brush, I'm just going in with my IT Cosmetics brush. This is the number 7 brush. I've been really enjoying this brush. And it also has a little concealer side, which is great for travel. Do you guys see like how when you first apply it looks like it's going to be luminous? That's why when I was first applying, I was like, is this going to be really luminous? I don't mind the luminosity, especially right now when it's cold, because I do need that extra hydration. But I'm just like, oh, if it looks like this, how's it going to look when I finish my entire face of makeup? You know, I'm not going to get to really set it, but no, it sets into a very pretty finish. And I actually like the fact that right now you can see how it looks when you first apply it opposed to when you have it on for a few minutes. I also like the fact that it's not heavily enhancing my texture. I feel like some foundations heavily enhance the texture, and I feel like if it was more like this luminous, you would see the texture more, but when it sets, I feel like the texture doesn't look as enhanced. I think first impressions, it feels very lightweight for sure. I also feel like it applies really great with the sponge and the brush. I'm not seeing a huge difference. I feel like with some foundations, I'm like, okay, with this, you definitely need to use the sponge, or with this, you definitely need to use a brush. But I feel like with this foundation, because it's so lightweight, it either or will work great. Sometimes when something's really lightweight, I'm like, ooh, maybe it'll be better with a brush because you'll get more coverage than with a sponge that absorbs the product. But this, I mean, look at the coverage on the sponge side. Like, it looks stunning. So I feel like this you can do great using either a sponge or a brush, and you'll be good to go. I also really like the color. Like I mentioned earlier, I feel like this is like a great match for me. It's probably one of my closer matches from a lot of new foundations that I've been using. And I really do appreciate that. They do have, let me look at the shade range. I wanna see what they have for options. I don't know if it's gonna tell me how many shades. Oh, 30 shades. So they do have 30 shades. They have warm undertones, cool undertones, neutral undertones. So that's a plus. I like when they do have that option so that you kind of know what you're gonna be getting. And I definitely do feel like this 4N1 Ginger is great on my skin. So if you're looking to buy this foundation and you're on my complexion, I think you'll like this. This would lean towards like a Fenty Beauty 290. That's where I'm at right now. In the summer, I'm Fenty Beauty 300, but right now, because I do have more of that neutral tone, I'm falling under that. When I have a tan, I do go a little bit more warmer. So I think that this is perfect, but it feels very lightweight. I also like the fact that it takes not too much time, but it does take a few minutes to like set into this, which I do appreciate, because I don't like when foundations set too quickly, because then I'm like, ugh, I have to blend really fast or else it's going to just kind of like stick to one place and that's it. But I like how this just kind of like melts into the skin slowly and then just becomes one. So right now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm going to finish off the rest of my makeup, and then I'm gonna come back and give you guys my first initial thoughts on how this looks on the skin. And then we can go ahead and begin our wear test, because I do want to show you guys how this is going to work for the day. So you guys will see me, I look a little bit more put together. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I am back. I just finished my entire face of makeup. Before I go ahead and change, I wanted to show you guys how this foundation looks by itself without any finishing powder, because I wanted you guys to see the skin. So the skin looks pretty good. I do feel like it gives me a natural finish, as you guys can see. You can leave it as is, but me, somebody that does have oily skin, I do want to go ahead and just kind of set the T-zone in the areas where I get oily. So I'm going to be taking this finishing powder. This is from Reina Rebelde. It is a new powder and I have been really enjoying it. And I am just going to take it in the areas where I tend to get very dewy as somebody with oily skin. So around the nose, the smile lines, for some reason that area just really gets me. On the nose, here, and the midsection. So you guys can see I'm just setting the areas. Everywhere else I think it looks pretty good. So I'm just literally going in that midsection and that's it. And then we'll see how this does for the entire day once set with my finishing powder. Because I wanted to just show you guys how it looked before we set it and how it looks now. So you guys can see that little bit of powder definitely made a difference for my oily T-zone and smile lines. So I'm happy with that. So I just want to quickly show you that. I'm going to go ahead and change really fast and I'll come back. We can do my first initial thoughts on this and then we can start the day. Okay, bonitas, I am back right now. It is 10:17 a.m. and I am ready to give you guys my first initial thoughts and impressions on this new Laura Mercier foundation. So you guys did see I went ahead and set just the T-zone area where I get oily, because I do have oily skin, especially on the T-zone area. Everywhere else I left as is. You guys saw that. Here are my thoughts on this foundation. I do think this gives a very beautiful coverage storage, very skin-like. At first when you apply it, it does look a little luminous, but then you give it some time to set and you're like, oh, this sets really nicely. I also really appreciate how it worked with the rest of my products. I went in with blush. I used cream blush. I used powder blush. I actually used the new One Size blush in Attention Seeker. I've been really enjoying this. And I used my concealer. Everything worked out really nicely. Also some bronzer, some contour. I wasn't expecting anything less just because Laura Mercier typically does come out with some really great formulas. But like always, what's really going to tell us if this is worth the $48 is how it wears, because $48 is not cheap. So I'm gonna begin the wear test right now. Like I said, it is 10:18 a.m. and we're gonna get right into this because I wanna see how this looks by the end of the day, especially on somebody that does have texture and also oily skin. So I will see you guys later. I will also do my in natural lighting clip so you guys can see how this all looks together in natural light. And then I will come back and I will go ahead and let you guys know my final thoughts and if I think this is worth it or not. So keep watching, you won't want to miss this. There is a foundation in natural lighting, as you guys can see. It definitely becomes one with the skin. I think the color matches me perfectly. It's been one of my way better matches, so I really do appreciate that. What are we thinking? I feel like it looks pretty so far, but it's always the end of the day that gives us that really good overview on how it wears. Okay, bonitas, I am back. It is now 7:24 p.m. We worn this Laura Mercier foundation for the entire day. So I'm ready to give you guys my thoughts. This is what we're looking like after a long day of wear. You guys can see, honestly, it doesn't look too bad for how oily my skin tends to get. I don't know if I can justify this for $48. Like $48 is pricey. Like once you include tax and everything, that's $50. It doesn't look bad at the end of the day, but I'm like, I feel like I've seen better. I think this will be great for somebody that does have like that dry to normal skin, somebody that perhaps is already a fan of Laura Mercier and really loves her products, somebody that is looking for that really good weightless feel, but also gives you like a nice natural skin-like finish. Because I definitely do think it gives you a natural skin-like finish. I feel like for me, it's gonna be a no for $48. I feel like if it was more affordable, I'd be like, yeah, it's not bad. I mean, look too oily, so I'm like, it's not bad, but then I'm like, $48 when I know I have other foundations that are more affordable that, you know, keep me looking like this or less oily, then I'm like, okay, that's fine. But I just feel like $48 is quite a bit of money. But do your research, try it out for yourself, get a sample or something of it, and it may work for you. But I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this review. You guys know that I love reviewing the newest products, the newest foundations. So let me know what you think of it. Have you tried this new foundation by Laura Mercier? Will you be trying it? Will you be passing on it? Let me know. Let's start a conversation down below. I love interacting with you guys. And I think that's pretty much it. So I hope that you guys did enjoy watching this video. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up. Let's me know to continue doing these type of videos for you guys. I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Don't forget to stay safe, stay blessed, and stay beautiful. And I'll be seeing you guys very, very soon for a brand new video. Adios, bonitas.